Hey, welcome to InfoCast. Stealthy here. And this is a new updates show that I'm just going to talk about the channel and tell you guys what we're doing lately. And it's not to replace any podcast or any of that. We haven't done it for a year. And I know I said on the last podcast it's the last episode, but you never know. I'm trying to get together a few people to do a Game of the Year episode. But most likely it won't happen. Instead, it'll be on here where I just tell you guys what everyone picked, and originally, I did want to do a DG top list, but that's not going to happen because I'd prefer to do it on here. And I got something else in the top list. I'll get into that in just a second. But quickly, before I go into any news, and that's basically what InfoCast is. I update the channel, read what's hot in the news, and just discuss it a bit. And I'm hoping you guys discuss it in the comments section below. But let's just dive into the analytics here. And first of all, I want to thank you guys. Definitely thank you guys for viewing. You know, we've hit our goal for 2 years now. On So if you go to monetization, we're not monetized, and a lot of us are just doing it as a hobby. So that's fine. So anytime I see viewership, I'm excited about that, and I'm glad you guys are watching that, and I'm glad I'm helping you with some of these videos. Some of these videos are game related, and you guys may be stuck on a certain level, and or I'm just providing content. Some of you guys like seeing it in 4K. I hope to be 8K one day, but you know those monitors run at 4K minimum. And anyways, I'm going off topic. So one thing we haven't been able to hit here is the subscriptions, and I've added a watermarker which seemed to help, but it's still slowly gaining speed here. And this is the only thing that we haven't been able to do. As you can see, I haven't set up the two-step verification because the channel's been shared between me, Flying Ho, and Zexy Haas, and even Zarik Meister if he wanted to, but um, he hasn't gone on here. But we've hit our public watch hours for 2 years now in a row, and it's just increasing. And even the analytics. So what happens with this? We've been steady at like 50K at one point, and it's been dropping because it hasn't encouraged us to keep going, keep posting single player videos. And honestly, I don't like to keep doing that because I don't like to post the whole game on here unless I know it's a shorter game and I can play it. I usually like to show the first hour or just show boss battles. That's what I like to record mostly. If I am showing a whole game, it's because I felt it was going to be easy to do it, or I want to complete an older playlist that I had. And I'll get into that later, but this is what I want to show mostly. And it's only hit a minimum of 1,000 views at the lowest. And if you go here, we only need 500 more subscribers to be monetized. And I'd like to be monetized because that will encourage more people to do podcasts. At least they don't feel like they're doing it for nothing. And while I do it as a hobby myself, I can't speak for everyone. Some people just don't have the time out of their own day. You know, they got their work, their own business to take care of. So, oh, well, that's loud. I can hear it through the headphones outside. Someone's engine running. But anyways, let's go into this really quickly here. And I'm not sure if it's gonna let me see the views per month. It's been a while since I did it. But there was a way. So last 90 days lifetime. Okay, so let's go to October. And you can see it's flat curve here. I had it tell me the views earlier, but watch time, subscribes. Let me figure out how to see that. You see viewer age, gender. How did I see that before? Maybe views. Oh, it's right here. Okay, total views for October 18,791. And let me go back to September 21,000. Okay, and as I go further, okay, it lets you pick the date here. Let's go to August, and I'm just going to do it in order to try and prove a point here, kind of, but not sound salty about it because I'm happy either way. I'm glad you guys are viewing our videos. 19,554. So it's over 1,000 is what I'm saying. So I know now I've heard some feedback that hey, you gotta play one game. That's how you get your viewership up. Play just that game nonstop. But that's not any fun. If you're doing it for fun, playing Fortnite all day or playing Call of Duty all day and showing videos of that, if you're having fun with that, sorry, the people that do it and are having fun with it, that's awesome. But when it starts to feel like a job, it's not fun anymore. And I know we're branded, but we're not monetized yet. So right now we're doing everything for fun. We're doing it because we like to do it. Because I like to do it. So as you see, 21,000 here, and that was what do we do there? July, and I'm gonna keep going back because going back in time is showing you guys the increase or decrease sometimes, but that's only by 1,000. But at one point we were hitting 50,000, and I think that's near Elden Ring. From Software games are a huge hit when it comes to this channel. So I do platinum those games and play them all out for viewers, and because I have fun with it, not just for viewers, but I know viewers like these games, so I'll never miss those moments. And there you go. As you can see, 69,221, all because of Elden Ring. And I would just hope that, like, I've been doing this for a long time. If you go back, you see Dark Souls videos, Dark Souls 2 videos, Dark Souls 3, even before that, Demon Souls original on PS3. I had a lot of viewership on here because of that. You go back to WoW Classic, original Classic in 2007, you see I got videos on there. And, I mean, I haven't stopped doing it. So I'm just saying it's a good reason to subscribe, because you'll constantly see these videos, and like people who watch From Software, and I know it turns people off when you see, maybe if you're an RPG fan and a Gears of War video pops up, but I play everything and I'm gonna post everything. And if people are gonna not subscribe because there's too much of a variety, and I'm gonna understand that, and if that's what you want to do, then that's up to you, of course. But that's what this channel is going to do. You're going to see videos later on down the road. Same companies, different games. And you're going to see a blowout on here. And I platinum these games. Now, for God of War, for example, though, that's a single-player game. I haven't decided if I'm going to platinum it yet, but I have decided that I'm not going to show off the whole game there, because I highly recommend you guys play God of War Ragnarok. But here you go. We went back a month in March. 54,000. And let's go to February. And let's go to 28 February. Only had 28 days. 13,000. That was there's some Elden Ring in here, but you can see it grew 13,000. And then as I go back more, it's probably going to decrease, but if you go into last year, when certain games come out, it only does increase too. So we've been steady for 2 years. Oh, and Returnal got us some views. So the lowest I've seen it hit is 1,000 views, which was probably 2 years ago. And then maybe a year before that, some more numbers came up. Last 28 days, you got 27,000 views. And as you guys seen, though, the content I provide, it's not one game. Let's hope this loads up here. All right. So what I do, I go back to games. So as you see, I didn't beat God of War yet. And the reason I didn't beat God of War is because look what else I'm playing. I'm playing WoW. I just did a 25-man raid of Nex. And yeah, it may have been a sloppy one because it was a pug, but my goal is just to provide archives on here. And there's no speech in this one. While I have done speech in the past, or had you hear the Raider speech, they're original content, no voice, because I know a lot of viewers that are watching this want to see it for how it's being played, as if they're playing it. And if you go down here with the new pre-patch of Dragonflight, I'm really happy with these views. You know what? Let me go back to the home page on that, and I can show it easier here. And if you notice, I always bring up the playlist of the latest video I add. Unless I decided to not make it a playlist, then you'll find it in the video section over here. and I really like how YouTube has updated their channel here. It's really nice. So really quickly here, if you go down, I got some Call of Duty content. I wanted to play everything I could for Call of Duty, and there's some games I play off screen, which I don't record everything because I want to have my gaming piece without worrying about recording sometimes. And if I'm just playing multiplayer versus and Call of Duty, I'm not going to record it. I record one game, and that's good enough for me to post on here so you guys see what it looks like. And I'm hoping you guys go out there and you guys play the game yourselves. Because, yeah. And I understand if you don't want to pay $70, definitely watch it, of course. But I'm more of a hands-on. Like, I can't just watch Twitch stream all day. I have to play the game myself. And not knocking anyone that does do that. That's great that you enjoy that content. And of course, if you enjoy our content, that's double great. So, anyways, if you see here on Dragonflight, a lot of views, 2.5k views, because I posted the starting area for the Drakthir. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And some character creations, and people point out stuff that I may have missed. So like I went up here and did the human customization. It wasn't too late, and I'm glad. Like always, leave feedback. Like I'll own up to my mistakes, and I'll respond to everyone that I can. I will respond to you. If this ever blows up, it might be harder to do that, but I'll still try to. But anyways, you got Shadowlands. I posted these up here because I never did the Mythics Plus. When it comes to retail, I'm not going to dive deep into Mythics. I'm not hardcore onto that anymore. I don't have the time to do that. I'm playing other games too. I'm working. So it's a lot harder to do that. But I still get through the content eventually. Like, Naxxramas took me a while. If you go down here to Destiny, I still got to beat the King's Fall raid, and that's what's coming up. King's Fall raid, go back to Lich King Classic. Still got to do the Obsidian raid. I still got to do the Vault of Archive. I forgot what it's called. The Vault raid. It's been a while. Dragonflight, that's the next game I'm going to be playing November 28th. I don't plan to play every quest, every story post on there. Usually I'm more of the updates archive. So like, for example, Shadowlands, if you see all the patched story, I put them up there. But for the initial game, I'm not going to post the whole game and the whole game questing because it might be too long questing and it might slow me down. So when it's just a patch that releases after all the content is done and it's add-on content, it's usually shorter and I can show it off. And most people leave after playing the initial Dragonflight and they don't like to keep coming back to time-gated content. That's what I like to post for people to see who don't have time to play those time-gated content. But eventually I do play them, I do catch up. You see Destiny 2, the relics. I gathered all the relics in the season, and these have season stories. So people aren't going to buy all the seasons. But I already got Lightfall and all the seasons, so you can expect that in the future. You can expect the King's Fall raid. DLC, Resident Evil Village. I originally didn't want to play the whole game, but then I just started playing it, so I posted the whole game on here. And it's been, I think, 2 years since it released, and Shadows of Rose came out. And look, even 7 viewership, I still post it. If I see 45 views, I'm just as happy as 2,000 views. So it's great that someone's watching it, someone's enjoying it, and these are in 4K, most of them. The only time for like God of War, Ragnarok, where I don't have it in 4K, it's because I'm playing normally, and then the battle happens and I win on my first try. Or I'm editing the video, and I'm actually not even sure if the editor, oh, that's loud. If the editor posts in 4K, and see, it doesn't. So if you edit on PlayStation, it's only 1080p. So the times I can record in 4K is when I plan to record before I continue on. So yeah, that's a lot on what's going on in the channel. World of Warcraft Classic content. I play this off screen. I raid every week with Phase 7 at the moment. I try to raid every week, at least one time a week with them. If I miss a week, it's because I have a busy schedule. So I play that off screen. I'm not going to keep posting videos of that. I just showed each raid one time, and that's good enough. When I get next rep and next geared and actually get into a next raid on Classic, I will post it on there, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. There are some classic dungeons I did miss. If I end up pugging it one day, I'll record it, post it on there. DG plays. This is what I plan to do really soon, like maybe after this video. A Plague Tale Requiem, Scorn. I'm gonna live play these both, maybe a half hour piece. That's coming up next. Task Force. Oh man, I was really excited. SOCOM came out and it felt like SOCOM won, and I was really excited. But the game just they took it off the store and the game died out again. Really disappointing. They're saying they're bringing it back up during the holidays. I might post a few videos if that ever sees life again, but at this point it's a failure. I'm gonna go back and try to get Confrontation working on PS3. I heard there's some private servers on there, and someone's working on a PC release, so that'll be interesting to play. DG Retro, I separated it from the plays list. These are just gonna be games we play old school. Usually Flying Ho tackles these. He'll do a full playthrough of like he did Aladdin. He did a few things on live stream earlier. And then the top 10 list or DG top. I don't want to limit it to 10 anymore. The next one coming up isn't even going to be a top 10 list. It's just the best retro games we enjoyed playing before. And me, Zarik Meister, Flying Ho got together and we compiled this list. Okay, so that's all on the channel updates. I really hope you guys will subscribe. Get us to 1,000. Get us more than 1,000 if you can, because I want to keep going. I want to bring back our podcast, and that will encourage us to bring back our podcast. I want to be able to pay some people, split some money here if that's possible. If not, you're just gonna still see it how it is. I started this channel in 2007, brought together Flying Ho, Sexy Haas, Reek Meister, even Bassam joined us on the last podcast. And yeah, we just have a good time on here. So I'm glad to finally at least bring you this something new, that's what it is, the updates show. And I hope to do it more often if possible, but I can't guarantee anything when my time is free. So first interesting thing I read about was a PlayStation 6 release, but Sony sounds a little salty on this one because they're not happy about Call of Duty, it seems like. I just clicked the first link here from Hypebeast, the article. And right here it says a rough time frame. So they're saying between late 2027, possibly 2028. I don't know if it's going to be late or early by that time, but it gives the cycle 5 more years and altogether 7 years. So it's a good thing, seeing consoles come back. There's still a lot of speculation that one day maybe consoles will go away since now they're releasing on Steam. Hard to see that for Nintendo products, but I don't know, man. Sony, Xbox already, Game Pass, they're subscription based. It's very possible. And then you got like Amazon Luna, which I didn't get to do a live play of that. I actually got the Luna controller. You saw the unboxing. If not, go check it out. But it's a terrible controller, so maybe you don't want to check it out. Anyways, back on topic. So this article is saying Sony is attempting to prevent $68.7 billion US dollars acquisition of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft Xbox. And it names the titles they'll get, but it looks like Sony's more concerned about Call of Duty. I don't know, like by PlayStation 6, I mean, Call of Duty's been a hit for many years, so I do see the concern on Sony's end here. But this looks good to me as a consumer. Like, if there's competition, it keeps Sony and Microsoft fighting back and forth. It's always good for the consumer. And I mean, it's always good to let the consumer play every game. So as long as Microsoft is still releasing on PC and then also has their exclusive game on like Call of Duty on Xbox, I don't see that as a bad thing. PlayStation owners are going to get upset about it if they only own a PlayStation. But if you own all three, if you're a gamer, you're going to own all three. You're going to own Sony's console, Nintendo's console, Microsoft's console, and hell, you'll even have a gaming desktop. You should have a gaming desktop at this point. But very interesting news. PlayStation 6. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm hearing lawsuits, people trying to sue Microsoft. I hope Microsoft wins this. I want Microsoft to acquire them. I want to see WoW on a Microsoft console, and then if people want to break deals with Microsoft, release Call of Duty on their console like Sony, broker a deal. I mean, you guys bought Bungie. You bought Bungie for what? To still say they're going multi-platform? From a business standpoint, you should be like, hey, Destiny, all future content of Destiny is going on PlayStation only and PC. That's how you win a war. But if everyone's here to play friendly, like, then broker some deals together then. But this just sounds salty to me. Sony wanting to prevent an acquisition. It's not a. I mean, you look at it. You try to say it's a monopoly. I disagree. It's just winning over competition. And Sony seems to have been in the lead with PS4, PS5. But if you look at sales, Nintendo Switch is killing it right now. All right, next article. Xbox admits PlayStation exclusives are better quality. And yeah, we know that. We know that definitely. You see God of War Ragnarok. You've seen hits like Horizon come out. Even though, like, I haven't beaten that game yet. It's kind of bored me, but I did platinum the first one. I'll go back and try to enjoy it. Also, it came out during Elden Ring, so that's why I didn't really play too much of it. But anyways, if this is the case, I do agree with the statement right here. I'm not gonna read into the article here. Um, let's think here. Nintendo does have their mascots. PlayStation has their mascots, and Microsoft has, their mascot, Master Chief. The big issue is here is 343, and like they made a great campaign, but they're very slow at releasing content. A lot of things that people complained about recently is this winter update, how it got delayed. The problem is Halo isn't looking like the killer game, the killer mascot with Master Chief as it once was. I don't know how they bring that back, how they make that better, but Microsoft does need better first party games, and that's what they're doing. That's why they bought out all these companies in hopes to do that. But even then, like, you still got Kratos, that's their mascot for Sony. They have heavy hitters, but Microsoft did have heavy hitters too. They have Gears. It seems to me like people have kind of moved on away from Gears. So, like, Gears 5 did great, but I don't know if Gears 6 is going to bring people back as much as it would bring people back for Ragnarok, or not Ragnarok, to the next entry in God of War. But the next entry in Halo has to do what God of War did. How it went from a hack and slash to third person combat, sort of like that For Honor gameplay. I think Halo would benefit from a third person shooter. Not on the online. Like, you got Halo Infinite. Keep that online, keep it updating, keep the seasons, just go better about it. And 343 did have a good campaign for the single player, but to shock someone, you gotta do something different, and that's what God of War did. And hell, man, make it brutal. Make the next Halo brutal. That might, you know, put an eye towards Halo again. Or I don't know, return it to Bungie. What if Microsoft needs to? I don't know. A lot of us think Microsoft needs to take it out of the hands of 343, but this is something to be excited about. I'm gonna watch this with you guys. Okay, there we go. That looked like a lot of fun. A lot of custom maps, new maps, and a co-op mode, which seems really interesting. I will try this out. I don't play Halo. I barely play Halo. Maybe one or two games when I feel like feeling that Halo crave again, just jumping in. But mostly I go into Master Chief Collection. But this looks really good. Gotta admit, it looks really good. Shooting out items at each other. I'll definitely play that game mode. But also the co-op mode. That was one thing that they messed up a lot in, is not having couch co-op. Eventually, I hope they bring it back. They don't just. I know they canceled it, but they should bring it back definitely. But yeah, this is looking fun. I don't know exactly what this is gonna be. What kind of co-op? Maybe you just go through select missions, clean up some horde. But we'll find out. I'll go into it. I'll play it, and that's some of the things I do on this channel. I like to go in, see what updates they have, and play them. All right, and I was reading this from Kotaku, some unseen images. And I always like looking at these unreleased images or cut content. And I think that's what 343 should actually do. They should try to put together like cut content into like a mission, put all the items in, do something interesting like that. That would be a lot of fun, definitely. And the last thing I want to go talk about was really quickly here before I end this video. I posted this on the WoW forums. Like, I asked both the classic and retail people didn't really take it too really kindly. They don't want a Dragonflight Cross WoW Wrath of the Lich King Classic event, which I would think is a huge missed opportunity for Blizzard. Also, a Classic Plus. Like, come on. No one wants Cataclysm Classic. And I know they sent out a survey, and we'll see what people voted. We don't have access to that. Maybe some news article will bring that out, but this is the way to go. Like, go through your whole classic and then just stop at Wrath of the Lich King. I mean, if you're gonna do Cata Classic, I know you're gonna probably go up to Mop, and then I hope that's the end of it, because at this point it's just getting ridiculous. But in my opinion, stop at Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Don't go any further. And if you wanted to do something, if you wanted to add content, add it to Wrath of the Lich King Classic. And the best way is to fuck with the storyline and create some timeline, Chromie, Dragonflight type of shit. Have them go back, have them go into Classic, have some parallel, create the multiverse in Warcraft. This is your opportunity to do so. Bring Arthas out here, bring him, save him, bring him, keep him alive, have him continue Wrath of the Lich King Classic, have him face off against Deathwing, create some epic cinematic. Like, you guys are sitting on a gold mine right now. But realistically, it's just going to be, oh, now we're going into pre-Cataclysm phase. Or, oh, we're done here, let's continue with retail. Like, that's one thing that bothers me, is like a game that was 12 million during Lich King days has now sunk to 2 million. And here we go on most played list. We're at 2.32 million. When Wrath of the Lich King Classic came out, I was moderating this. Or not moderating. I was viewing this a lot. I can't say the word properly, but 4 million is what I saw it hit at one point. Or it was like 3.63 million, but around 4 million. And now it's sunk down to 782,000. Come on, that is ridiculous. And then retail, because Dragonflight 2.32 million, it might go to 4 million. But as soon as people hit level 70 max rank, see the story, and do the first raid, they're just gonna start dropping. It's gonna hit lower numbers again. Old school RuneScape has been winning until Dragonflight pre-patch, and then also Final Fantasy when they get their new content. So it keeps fluctuating between these three games, and it's just ridiculous to see Blizzard fall so badly. And I know they're advertising hardcore on Dragonflight, and I wish them success, and I hope it's actually a good game, but you still have your classic players. I mean, you can even go back. All they're probably going to do is what they did with regular classic at Season of the Mastery. They're probably going to rotate that. They're going to add probably Burning Crusade and then do it again for Lich King by the time all the phases are out. which is again a huge missed opportunity. If you want to read this forum, check it out. It's in the classic discussion section. I do have one in retail, but it died out quickly. I might bump it up after this post just to keep it going, see how long it'll go. 2 months, it says here, it'll close it down. But yeah, that's it. That's all. That's all the updates for the channel. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of InfoCast, and I hope to do more. Look, the main video I got up here is right now just the login screen, so I'm hoping to replace it with this episode, and then next episode, main video, probably have a DG list. I'll create a playlist, and I hope to do this more often. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check out our streams. That's what's coming up.